everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing our budget closeout for January. I'm so excited to be closing this month out. January was a really exciting month for us. It was really hectic and chaotic. We had a baby in the middle of January, which was amazing, has been so great. We are doing awesome, and yeah, it's just been kind of a whirlwind month. Our budget got a little out of control, but I feel like overall I'm really happy with how it went, because obviously with having a baby, I was expecting the worst, to be honest, because it's just like a crazy time. I'm not like tracking the budget very well because I'm busy with the baby and stuff like that. So all things said, I am very happy overall with how the month went. So let's go ahead and go over our January recap. We had our W-2 income, which we estimated $7,000, and that was accurate. We did bring in $7,000. I do round off my numbers if you're new here, just because we have a buffer and it kind of just makes sense to just round it off and not worry too much about the pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters of the world. So we estimate it a little bit just to make it a little bit easier, and also it makes it easier to film these videos as well. But that is actually how we do our budget as well. So we were expecting $7,000, we brought home $7,000, and then we also did have our side hustle income. So if you watch my Debt Free Friday videos, I talk about this every single week, about where this money is coming from. We don't budget for it. We were able to bring home $678 this month in side hustle income, which brings our total income to $7,678, which is amazing. Super happy with that side hustle income this month. A very large portion of that came from my AdSense money from December. If you have been watching my channel for a while, I did Debt Free December. I posted 14 videos, so I had a lot more income from YouTube than is typical for me, which I so appreciate. So thank you so much if you watched my channel during that time. I know a lot of you guys started to follow me around then, and I appreciate you guys so much for being here and supporting my channel. Our total income we were working with for January was $7,678. So let's see what we did with that money. So first, we have most of our fixed expenses. So we have our mortgage, which we budgeted $1,284, and it was $1,284. No difference there, and that was at 16% of our income. Then we had our cell phones. So we had budgeted $130 for cell phones. $130 came out, and that was at 1.7% of our income. Then we had Netflix. I heard Netflix prices are going up. I don't know what plan we have, but we've been paying $15 for like a really long time. So I haven't seen it go up yet on ours. So I don't know if we have some kind of like grandfathered plan or something, but I don't know. It's at $15 still. So I might ask my husband. My husband actually is the one that like has that account under his email, so I don't look at it ever. So I might ask him to like look at what we have. I don't know what what plan we have for Netflix. And then we also have our Peloton bike, which our monthly fee is $41 for that. And that is at 0.5% of our income. Then we had our internet. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already have heard this story about AT&T, but basically long story short, we switched internet providers in December. We were supposed to be getting a $50 like Visa gift card. AT&T didn't give it to me. It was a whole fiasco. I had to call like 4 times. I was on the phone for like literally hours trying to figure it out. And eventually they just gave me a credit on my account, which is perfectly fine. I would rather have the credit anyways than like a Visa gift card. So they did credit our account. That did go through. So all is well with AT&T. I forgive them. We are, working through our issues, but that did help our budget quite a bit. That gave us an extra $50 back into our budget. And so that was at 0.1%. But like I said, it should have been $60, but because of that credit, we were able to cut that a lot. And then we did have our giving category, which I so love having this category. It really makes me feel so good to be giving again in like a more monthly fashion, like a regular fashion, I should say. We do give like spontaneously throughout the year, especially towards the end of the year typically. But it just feels good to have something in the budget every single month. So we did donate $100 to a local charity this month, which was awesome. It was actually a charity that we've never donated to, so it felt really good to support someone new and just do that. So I'm really, really happy with that. I'm hoping eventually we'll be able to bump that up a little bit. We're really just trying to get through the emergency fund and stuff before we work on any more of our categories for now. So that is our giving category. Then we also did have our car insurance. This is a question that I get all the time about car insurance because it's not typically in our monthly budget. We do pay our car insurance twice a year. So we pay it in, I believe, January and June or July. I can't remember which one. So yes, we did have our car insurance come out. I had budgeted $385 and it was actually $392. So I was a little bit off, but $392. I was a little bit off, but that is okay. So we were negative $7 on that. And that was at 5.1%. So we do have a car sinking fund, but typically for the car insurance, I just cash flow it. We do have like a lot of gap in our budget. So between our like fixed expenses and our variable expenses, we have a decent amount left over every single month, which we've worked really, really hard to over the last few years of paying off debt and all of that. We have worked really, really hard to create the largest gap possible so that we have more flexibility in our budget. So that is part of the reason why we're able to cash flow more things than we used to be able to. So I typically cash flow car insurance. We also pay our water bill quarterly as well. So that's another thing that we typically just cash flow. The water bill is actually in February, so you'll see that next month. And then we had our preschool. So if you watched my February budget with me, I will link it above if you haven't watched it yet. We actually are temporarily not going to be having childcare for the next few, I actually don't know, months, weeks, I'm not sure. Basically, my daughter's preschool program was really, really struggling with COVID, with like staffing and stuff, and they basically cut the part-time program completely. So anybody that was going part-time lost their spot as of this week. So my daughter is officially not enrolled in childcare anymore, which I mean is fine for now because I'm on maternity leave. So I'm here with her and that's completely fine. I'm trying to find her a new daycare. She really enjoys it and the learning is really good for her. And eventually I'm going to be going back to work in May. So I need to find something for her. So yeah. We did actually, we paid the whole month because she was able to finish out the month of January. So we did pay the whole month. So that was at 7%. But yeah, that's going to be temporarily removed from our budget. Sadly, I literally cried about it because I was so upset. But I've worked through it and we're moving forward. I'm on a couple of wait lists at other preschools in our area. So I'm really, really hoping that we'll be able to get her in somewhere, hopefully by like March, April timeframe. We'll kind of see. And then we had our electric. So I'm anticipating our electric to probably be pretty high again in February because it's been really cold here. So we budgeted $200. I knew that would probably be a little bit short, and it was. Our bill was actually $234, so we were negative $34. That's okay. I should have budgeted more. I don't know. I'm so used to budgeting 200 that I just budgeted 200, even though I knew it would probably be too low. So a learning experience, and that's okay. Like I said, we do tend to have a lot of flexibility in our budget. So if we under budget something a little bit, it's not a huge deal. So $234 for our electric bill is very high for us. But again, it is very cold. I live in Wisconsin. It is literally negative 14 degrees. So yeah. Probably don't move here unless you really, really like cold because it is like frigid outside. And then we had our spending. So we budgeted $100 this month for spending. Going forward, that'll probably be $200. I think I talked about that in my February budget. We did not increase it in January because we weren't sure if we were going to be debt free or not at the time that I did our January budget. So we just left it at $100. But going forward, it'll be a little bit higher because we are debt free. And so we're just giving ourselves a little bit more spending money going forward. We had our gas. So this is gas for our car. We were pretty well under this again this month because, like I said, we had a baby. We weren't really going anywhere. It's the dead of winter here. So yeah, we're not like traveling too much right now. So that gave us an extra $37 back into our budget. So again, that kind of canceled out the electric. Things tend to just kind of cancel themselves out over the month. Some things we budget a little bit too much for, some things we don't budget enough, and it kind of just tends to work out. And we also do have a buffer in our checking account, so if things do come up that are a little bit higher, we can just eat into the buffer if we need to, and that is fine. So then we had our groceries. So we did bump this budget up fairly recently to $600 because the grocery prices are just really crazy right now. We did spend $574. I'm really happy with that because I thought for sure we were going to go over this month. Honestly, we just didn't have time to go over. We did go to Costco this month, which was helpful. And then I did a couple of pickup orders, but like honestly, we just weren't really, eating here, and like we were in the hospital for a few days, and then by the time we got home it was kind of just like we were eating what's in the pantry and stuff. So I'm hoping we don't go over in February, but definitely might happen because we're pretty bare right now with what we have in our fridge and freezer. So yeah, might be a little bit tougher to be under budget in the month of February because of that. So that was at 7.5% of our income. I don't know why I wrote it like that. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. I have a newborn and I am exhausted because I am not sleeping more than like 2 to 3 hours at a time. So forgive me. I am a little scatterbrained today. Let's see here. So fun and kids. So this was actually a new category for us for the month of January. I definitely feel like we will get more use out of this category in the summer, like the spring, summer time frame. There's just not a lot to do right now. We did take my son to a movie, so that was $26. We went on a Tuesday, which is $5 Tuesdays, so it's way cheaper. And then they also have like deals on popcorn and stuff. So it was definitely more affordable to go to the movie that day. And that gave us an extra $74 in our budget. We just didn't do anything else with it this month, so I'm just taking the money back. I don't know. It might be a category that we lower. I'm not sure. We'll kind of just play it by ear. This is our first month with it, so I'm just trying to kind of feel it out. I intend for it to be like for things like, going to a museum or going to the zoo or like aquarium, like things like that, where we're trying to do something fun with our kids and it might cost a little bit extra and we don't want to eat into other budgets. So that's kind of my intent with it. So we'll see what happens with it over the next few months. It might be a category that, like, depending on the month, might be higher or lower. So we will see, but I'm really happy with that. And then our miscellaneous category got a little bit out of control this month. So yeah, we budgeted $200 and we spent $319. So part of this was because I actually went and got a manicure and a pedicure right before I had the baby. Mainly, it was kind of like a celebration of being debt free and like a, treat yourself before the baby kind of thing. I don't typically get my nails done, so that was definitely like a treat for me. And so that was part of why it was so much more expensive. And then we also had our Ring doorbell subscription that I forgot about, which was $30. So those two things just kind of put us out of whack on our miscellaneous budget. And then there was just a lot of other random crap from, honestly, Amazon that I bought. So yeah. That one, not super happy with the amount there, but it's okay. Again, having a baby and all that stuff just kind of threw our budget a little bit. And honestly, I wasn't really tracking it very well because we were busy with the baby, and I normally track our budget a lot better, but it kind of just got away from me the last half of the month. So I honestly didn't know we were that much over budget until I looked back, and that's just another reason why it's so important to just kind of keep an eye on your budget because it can get out of control so quickly. Obviously, $300 is quite over budget. So PSA to keep an eye on your budget. And then let's see, we have our dining out category. So this one we did go a little bit over, but again, I'm pretty happy with it because, it was very tempting to eat out like every single night. I'm not going to lie. We obviously didn't do that, but it was tempting for sure because like neither of us are wanting to cook. We were exhausted and all that stuff. So we budgeted $225, which is a little bit more than we normally budget for. We spent $266, which is obviously over budget, but it's okay. We're hopefully moving forward into February with a little bit more sleep. I'm hoping. We'll see. We'll see how that happens, but that's okay. And then we also had all of our sinking funds. So I'm just going to combine some of them here because I don't want to write them all out. So we had car, kids, and home. And those all budgeted, we had $50 each. And we sent $50 each. So those were each 0.7% of our income. Then we had our Christmas. Oh, I forgot vacation was in here too, sorry. So we had vacation, car, kids, and home. Those were all $50 each. And then we had Christmas, which was a little bit more. We do $75 a month this year. So that was $75, and that was at 1%. And then the last category that we have is our emergency fund. So if you've been watching my Debt Free Friday videos, that's the current goal that we're working on. So we were able to send $3,269 to our emergency fund this month, which is at 46.2%. So that is super exciting. When we were paying off debt, we were hoping to put about 50% of our income. I have definitely scaled that back a little bit now that we're not in debt anymore. I'm hoping we can send like about 40%, and this is obviously a little bit more than that because we did have a lot more side hustle income this month. So that is absolutely awesome. I'm super, super excited that even with having a baby, we were able to make some really, really good financial progress this month. Definitely in past pregnancies, this was my third baby. In prior newborn life with my other two kids, our budget got way more out of control. So again, I am really happy with the progress that we made. This was definitely like the best budget we had since having our other two kids. So I don't think we even had a budget when I had my son. I definitely didn't. And then my daughter, I feel like we had kind of a loose budget, but you know, it was not this great. So we're definitely making progress here. So last down here, we're just gonna go over our little recap here. So our total income again was $7,678. Our total expenses were $7,659, and that leaves us with a positive $19. So even with a lot of these overages and everything, we were still positive $19 for the month. That will just roll into our buffer and just sit in our checking account. So that is my recap for January. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye guys.